All right, we do have enough time for me to squeeze out another bat rep tonight, so we're going to do part 2 of the 4th week of the Slow Grow League. This time I'm going to be sitting out and just doing the commentary. We're going to have Dustin and his Dark Eldar versus Scott and his new Imperial Guard. I'm going to break my rule of only featuring fully painted armies for this because I don't know if I've ever gotten a chance to actually get Scott on the table, but I think tactically he's one of the better players in the group. So it's going to be a treat to actually get his stuff painted or unpainted on the table, just to see what kind of plays he can make within the game. So let's take a look at what Dustin is going to bring today for his Dark Eldar. Alright, most of this army should be pretty familiar. It's been featured a couple times on bat reps. Again, I think it's one of the most striking looking armies in our club, and I'm really proud to be able to play against it every time I can. We've got the Archon in his court. Everything is completely WYSIWYG. There's a Medusa, the Slith, everything else in there. They're going to be riding in the Venom with twin link splinter cannons, I believe. Yep. There's a Talos paint engine in the back. That's one of the new additions to this for the Slow Grow League. We have a group of Dark Eldar warriors in the Raider, 3 of the Reaver jet bikes. We have a squad of witches as well, and a squad of mandrakes, which Dustin's been itching to try these guys. So we'll see if they're going to be pulling their weight in points. We're going to look at Scott's Imperial Guard. All right, let's take a look at what Scott is going to bring for his Imperial Guard. Just a quick shot of his painted stuff. It's very Desert Storm looking. So first we'll start with the HQ. We have a Primaris Psyker. We're going to be nicknaming Gandalf the Grey. He's got a staff and a sword and a pointy hat. Scott likes to do funky little touches on his models like that. He has a Marine captain with a fedora. It's one of my favorites. We have 2 platoon command squads right here, and 2 infantry platoons, 10 guys. Grenade launchers, close combat weapon on the sergeants. Everything is WYSIWYG. We have a heavy weapon team with autocannons, and a special weapon team with 3 flamers, and then a squadron of armored sentinels with missile launchers. Alright, it's the same mission as from the last bat rep. It's modified Purge the Alien. You lose a victory point for each surviving unit your opponent has on the table. We've got the guard set up in a line right here. Heavy weapons on the hill, sentinels behind each infantry squad. Special weapons team moving into the woods over here. And Dustin's got the bikes over here on the hill. The paint engine as well as his witches in the Raider. I think I said the warriors were in there, but the witches are actually in it. And the court in the Venom, and warriors right here, and the mandrakes are hiding right here in the building. Same Vanguard strike deployment, and Scott has the Master Defense as his warlord trait, so he gets counterattack in his deployment zone, and Dustin has Master Vanguard to re-roll run rolls. So we're going to move into turn 1. I believe Scott has the first turn unless Dustin concedes. Oh, I'm sorry, Dustin has the first turn. Dustin deployed first. So, he will take turn 1 unless Scott concedes. Alright, top of turn 1. Dustin's Dark Eldar move forward. Mandrakes are hiding in the cover, benefiting from their stealth rule. The paint engine is skirting the edge of the cover back here, and everything else just advance. Took some shots on Scott's Imperial Guard. Some of these splinter cannons took out 4 of the guardsmen from that squad right here on the hill. And the jet bikes, with their turbo boosting blade vein attack, knocked out 2 of the heavy weapon bases. One of the flamers was taken out over here as well from the Dark Eldar warrior shooting. That's it. First blood has not been won yet, so we'll move into bottom of 1 to see if Scott can strike back. Alright, bottom of 1. The guardsmen strike back pretty badly, pretty heavily. The jet bikes in the back were taken out by this blob squad right here. I did forget to mention actually that the autocannon squad ran off the table, so Dustin did get first blood. Anyway, moving on. The jet bikes got taken out by the blob squad here. The Venom was blown up by the Primaris Psyker's lightning blast power, and then that blob squad on the hill unloaded on the court and killed everything and dropped the Archon down to a single wound left. Two wounds left. Dustin's like me; he does the wounds remaining instead of wounds taken. Everything else was largely ignored. I believe they lost 1 warrior over here to the shooting from the special weapons team, and that's it. As far as some of the mysterious terrain that they've revealed, we've got I believe we have Razorwing, brain leaf on both of these, and I think that last one is also razor wing. All right, so we're going to move into turn 2 and see if Dustin can keep pushing forward. All right, bottom of turn 2, we see the Archon, who's all by himself in the brain leaf forest. Actually eat himself. He failed his leadership roles and made his attacks against himself and did just enough wounds to kill him. So the Archon's dead. Scott gets the victory point for killing the HQ. The witches pile out of the raider, and the incubi jump out of, or the mandrakes jump out of cover, and they assault the first blob squad over here. Do 9 wounds, failed to take anything back. Did lose 2 of the mandrakes to Overwatch Fire, and failed to catch the guardsmen, so they are running off the table. But since Dustin did not kill them, they don't get pain tokens. So that's actually gonna even though they're gonna kill the unit, it's not that good not getting those pain tokens. Back over here, some of the shots from the warriors into that special weapons squad. Scott went to ground, didn't lose anybody, but he forgot going to ground. They're not going to be able to move in on this blob of witches who would have been perfect flamer bait. So we're going to move into turn 3 now, and see I'm sorry, this is turn 2. We'll see what the guard can do then to respond. All right, bottom of turn 2, things are getting pretty nasty. Scott just made the comment that everything seems to be swinging pretty wildly back and forth, and he's right. That squad of witches got taken down by the Primaris Psyker almost single-handedly. They're down to 4 models, but made the leadership test and they're still there. The mandrakes were taken out by the blob squad over here. The squad that had been assaulted failed the leadership test and ran off the table. And that's about it. This pain engine is getting very close to being able to jump in on the blob squad, and I think there's still anybody's game. All right, top of 3 was pretty quick. The warriors here shot at the guardsmen back there, and they made both their cover saves. The pain engine was a little far out for an assault on the blob squad, but noticed that the Primaris Psyker was the only model left out of cover, so Dustin was actually able to try to focus fire on him, but he made his refractor field save, so he's okay. The witches skirted around the edge of combat and assaulted the sentinels and glanced one of them, so now each one of them has taken a hull point and failed to do anything back to the witches. So we're going to move on to the bottom of 3, and Scott doesn't have a whole lot to shoot at except that pain engine with those guardsmen. So we'll see if he can try to scratch it a little bit. Bottom of turn 3, the guardsman blob just moved backward to stay away from the pain engine. And the command squad with the Primaris Psyker actually assaulted into the witches. Witches did kill 3 of the guardsmen, but the combination of the sentinels and the command squad took out all 4 of the witches. Dustin didn't roll very well on those saves, so it's still looking, it still swings back and forth every turn. So we'll see if Dustin can continue that trend in the bottom of. I'm sorry, this will be now top of turn 4, correct? Are we in top of 4? Yeah, Dustin went first. We're in the top of 4. All right, top of 4. 2 of these guardsmen fell to the warriors' fire, but they made the leadership check. They're okay. They did go to ground though. Back here, the raider moved up and shot a dark lance at the sentinels and missed, and the pain engine took out 1 of the guardsmen and then failed its charge. That blob squad is getting pushed into the corner by that pain engine though, because they don't have a whole lot that can hurt it. We're going to move into bottom of 4 and see what the guard decided to do about it. Bottom of 4, the guardsmen in the back snap fired at the warriors and took 1 out. The blob squad shot some grenades at the pain engine and failed to touch it. But the Primaris Psyker and the sentinels blew up the raider, so Dustin's down to a couple warriors and the pain engine. Let's see if that thing can finally catch those guardsmen in turn 5 and 6. All right, we're going to just wrap up all of turn 5 really quickly. The pain engine advanced and then ran to try to get closer to pin them back, but between throwing some crack grenades, a plasma pistol shot, and a nice shot from the Primaris Psyker's lightning blast, the pain engine is no more. Dustin couldn't make an armor save on it. The sentinels shot some frag missiles back over here at the warriors. And that's it. That's the table after turn 5. So I believe the guys are going to call it now in turn 5, and we'll total up the victory points and let you guys know. All right, after totaling victory points and adding the situational modifiers from this scenario, we do get a final score of Scott 6 and Dustin 0 because of all the units Scott still has on the table. Anyway, this has been a pretty fun scenario, fun mission. Week 4 is over. Next week, week 5, we move into 1,000 points. I'm actually going to be playing with my Adepticon list a little bit during those weeks. Maybe see if I can't bring out some of the Def Copies that I just finished painting too. But we'll see you guys next week.